Welcome back to the Daily Factor. Let's go to our community updates now. I don't know if you remember, about a week ago, a young boy from Zimbabwe, Rodwell Komazana, had lost his nose, left eye, and most of his upper lip, his bit of his forehead, and other parts of his face when he was mauled during a nighttime church service outside Harare by a hyena. Now, this, of course, happened in May, and South African doctors, many of them took him in about a week ago to go ahead and sort of perform surgery on him. Now, joining me to go ahead and discuss an initiative for Rodwell, I'd like to welcome Mohammed Mohamedy. He's from MealSA and he's an executive volunteer. Mohammed, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah so much for joining us.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Faraz. Jazakumullah khair for giving us the opportunity to be on here.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Mohammed, just give the viewers an idea of what MealSA is trying to do in order to help Rodwell and his family.
Well, actually, MealSA is an NGO that was formed last year during the start of the COVID pandemic. And primarily, our objective was to help those in need with food. Subsequently, we then went into the foray of trying to provide vitamins to COVID-positive patients. And in the last week or so, a week or 10 days or so ago, we were then approached by Makshuda Keji, one of the nurses who's taken a very deep interest in Rodwell's case. And she came to us saying that, they needed a foundation to assist them to actually do some fundraising for them and make sure that South Africans at large who want to contribute are able to contribute meaningfully to this campaign. Now, as you know, the doctors, a large portion of the doctors led by Dr. Ridwan Mia, are providing their services pro bono. But there's a significant cost attached to an operation or procedures related to giving Rodwell back what we call, Face of Rodwell campaign. So we decided that we would like to be that particular organization to assist the campaign with fundraising, to also ensure that at points, that sufficient funds are available and make the call out to South Africans at large to contribute.
Mohammed, from what I'm hearing, it's not just obviously, contributing money for the surgery, but it's also providing for Rodwell's social needs. Of course, inshallah, when he's able to go ahead and see this operation become successful and for him to continue his life as a child and contribute to his society.
For us, it's actually to understand the extent of his injuries, is something that will bring a chill down our spine. His face has largely been ripped away by this hyena. His left eye socket, as you said, is completely damaged. It had to be reconstructed. He doesn't have either of his lips. His nose has been taken away. So the one part of it is the physical reconstruction. Then commences the emotional aspect of reconstructing, his thinking and his abilities again. We take things for granted, breathing. We take drinking water for granted. He's going to have to be taught all over again how to actually use his lips. That's the extent of the damage that has been caused. And the therapy is going to be long. It's going to be a hard road. It's not just one procedure. He's got to undergo multiple procedures. He's going to have to go back home and make trips to and from South Africa to continue this process. The estimates around timing could be anything between 12 and 18 months before he has a fully functional face again.
Mohammed, have MealSA and obviously the doctors that are assisting Rodwell at this moment have been in touch with the family, and what are they currently going through right now? Because it must not be a nice feeling. I'm not a parent. I don't know whether you are, Mohammed, but just to see your child go through this, I mean, it takes such an emotional toll on a person, doesn't it?
He's a little boy of 9 years old for us. I have an 11-year-old daughter. And one can only imagine the trauma that the family suffers through this process. But this little young boy, he's a courageous young boy. When he got in last week and he was admitted into hospital, He had discussions with the doctors. He laughed, he joked, he played on his iPad, he kept himself busy. But I think, as you say, the emotional trauma that the family goes through in trial and tribulation of this nature is something that, I don't think any one of us can understand. We can just empathize, and we can, we can make dua for the child, but we can help wherever we can as a community in South Africa, and try to lessen the burden of this family. That's really where MealSA is coming in, and trying to use the credibility and reputation of the organization to raise funds, raise awareness around the campaign, and try to be that platform that people can donate on, so that we can use the funds meaningfully for Rodwell's rehabilitation.
One final question, Mohammed. If our viewers who are listening and the community at large would like to contribute, who do they contact? Where do they visit to, of course, help Rodwell to regain not just his ability to live life again, but his dignity at large?
So we've got a website, www.mealsa.org, and you can use your credit card. You can go on to use your EFT system directly on the website and make a contribution, and just reference the donation as Rodwell or FACE campaign. Alternatively, on the website are the banking details for MealSA. Alhamdulillah, we will have this properly controlled and audited, so that one and all can ensure that their funds go through to assisting Rodwell, as you correctly point out for us.
Mohammed Mohamedy from MealSA, we say Jazakallah to you. Keep up the good work, and inshallah we will speak to you again.
Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, there we go. MealSA doing its bit, not just to help people during the difficult times of COVID-19, but to also assist boys like Rodwell, of course, have gone through what can only be described as really something tragic, and the attack by a hyena on him. Well, after the break, I did mention we are going to be just taking snippets of President Cyril Ramaphosa's address to the nation that he gave last week, focusing mainly on vaccinations. Do stay tuned.